Football League, presented by EA Sports. Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And off we go on EA Sports. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now Richardson will throw to start out here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Now Richardson. Got his man, it's Warren. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Here's the former NFL rushing. And the ball is knocked out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Stroud. That'll be caught right side by the rookie receiver. And he's got this down to the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 1. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Throw left side to Higgins. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Will Anderson, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Richardson looking to throw. And a throw for Pittman is intercepted. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Stroud. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket
to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
Open man is Kirk, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. Inside handoff to Mixon. And fights through one man. Now the stiff arm created some space initially, but he's taken down not long after. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and it's now 3-0 Texans. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Indy set to go on offense once more. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2nd down and a yard. A quick throw there is incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
1st and 10, Taylor now. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. Second down. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. They run once more with Taylor. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On second down, here's the option. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 31-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
That's complete to Pierce. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 19. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now it's Richardson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Flushed out right. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Anthony Richardson scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Colts are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession. As they've got it as we resume action. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Texans on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Stroud. Short throw into the hands of Jordan. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
I like the play action there on 2nd and short, partner. You try and convince those safeties you're going to run for it. Hit them with that play action. Looks like a run. And then try and go over the top. Didn't work, but I like the play call.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Texans will take over. Stroud off the play fake. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Kwity Paye getting in there and burying him behind the line. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
From the gun, a give to Mixon. He'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Stroud looking to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Higgins. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Second and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead. This goes out wide for Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. It was Kwity Paye who made the stop coming off the edge.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Back to Mixon on second down. Stiff-armed him. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on third down. Stroud to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That one goes for 8 yards. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there getting the safeties involved in run support.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Mixon diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it and catch it, and he gets it done.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And the Colts getting ready to go. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Richardson looking to throw this. That complete to Downs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They'll try the left side with Taylor. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's Richardson to throw. Connecting over the middle with Downs. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Texans offense set to regain possession. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Mixing up the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. And Stroud now to throw. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud. He finds his target. It's Schultz. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Colts going to take over now late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. Richardson. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Richardson. Got his man. It's Warren. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. To the right side, complete to Taylor. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Richardson yet again. The flag comes in. It's incomplete. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that one go. So since that last play got nothing, they'll go ahead and decline the penalty. And that forces a 4th down situation. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And the Texans going to get the football one final time here in this first half. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Kwity Paye picks up his second sack of the afternoon. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
This is caught. It's Kirk. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Here's Higgins out on the right side. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 44-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Stroud will look to throw once more. This one caught downfield by Higgins. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Throwing now is Stroud. Over the middle, complete. It's Higgins. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Stroud out of the gun here. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Christian Kirk, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd down and 6 now. Richardson off the play fake. This to the sideline and nearly intercepted. Oh, he had that in his grasp. Couldn't get it. Instead, it'll bring up 3rd down.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Richardson. Now this taken in by Downs. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. From the shotgun, Richardson. Buying time to his left. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
That one finds Pierce right side. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
And from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn: find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 55 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
2nd and 10. Richardson looking to throw this. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Josh Downs from 21 yards away. And the Colts have got it back to within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Now Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Stroud off the play fake. That's complete. It's Collins. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The end result, 21 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he was unable to make the play himself on 2nd down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on 3rd down?
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal. Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Dalton Schultz, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans had 6 to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Richardson to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Warren. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a first down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Third quarter here in Indy. This is 2nd and 10. Richardson out of the shotgun. That complete to Downs. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 41-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter. Richardson looking to throw. And he's taken down inside the 30. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Richardson. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Warren. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
They'll run here with Taylor. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made
touchdown. Michael Pittman from 8 yards out. And the Colts have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Houston set to take over. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And Stroud now to throw. He'll complete this one to Collins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
A handoff, running left, Mixon. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Stroud looking to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Stroud to throw it. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Schultz. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Jordan. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to swell the lead to 6. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Richardson. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The offense on 3rd down, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Play action. Now Richardson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A first down and then some, 36 yards.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
Again, it's Richardson. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Off play action. Richardson. He's got his man. It's Pierce. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 14 yards that time for number 14.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll look to throw again. Throw out right, pulled in by Downs. And the Colts are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Taylor looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Here's Taylor again. But he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball 3rd time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Jonathan Taylor taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Colts are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the 4th.
And the thing you have to love about Jonathan Taylor, he's a shifty speed guy most of the time when you hand him the football, but he's not coming off the field when you get down near the goal line because he's as tough and gritty as they come. And he finishes things off here by getting into the end zone.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Well, now how about this return? And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Got a man. It's Collins complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing now is Stroud. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Looking for the out route here, and it's completed to Kirk. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Heady on that one, huh? Getting out of bounds before the 2-minute warning. They get an extra timeout, extra opportunity to move the ball downfield. Very smart football.
Well, this crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches. Back to throw again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Stroud to throw it. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Another try from the 14 on 2nd and 10. A handoff to Mixon. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Big play looming here. This is 3rd and 7 with a crowd on their feet. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So Richardson and the Colts now down by 2. A little under 30 seconds remaining. Now their lead is evaporated, but they still have a shot on first down. Richardson to throw it. Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Now Richardson. Finding Pittman. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs. One last shot for Richardson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles. And that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think Hope was wearing one jersey and Worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap played out. Now, we've seen some incredible plays to win games before, but in this case, I think the distance was just a little bit too great for it to happen here.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Indy.